start it this direction. So, do you think you can, pay attention to what I'm doing while holding that? Cool.
Yep, and I'll ask you questions if I forget things.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to start out with a basic cha one. The basic Teabowl. I have 5 pieces of clay here. I think I'll just record one of them. What's that?
Couldn't you drink tea out of a cup?
You could, yeah. Like out of a mug?
Yeah, like the cups we're using, we could just
Yeah, I'm drinking tea out of this mug.
It's not
Yeah,
ceremonial.
it's a traditional.
It's the traditional. It's a Japanese traditional thing, and that's sort of why we're doing it. But it's not about like. I mean, this assignment isn't about necessarily about making a tea bowl for the tea ceremony. It's about making a small bowl with a foot. And there are a number of different ways that we can approach this. I'll throw a couple tea bowls that are very regular in shape, and I'll throw a couple that are very irregular in shape. Okay, I'm just gonna get in the splash zone. Do you need a poncho? Get ponchos, hand them out.
Like going to a Gallagher show.
Yeah, Gallagher or SeaWorld or something like that. All right, when I drop the hole for a tea bowl, one of the things you'll notice is that I leave about a half an inch or so, of clay at the bottom. So I'll just stop my wheel here, measure. So there's more clay here than I would normally leave for a cup.
Love that.
The reason, what's that?
It's good. It's easier for me that way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, so, yeah, because we're going to be trimming, we're going to be, can you turn your volume off on that? Because we're going to be trimming the clay off in order to get a foot. If you look at these, we have the wall of the piece, which is, a little less than 1/4 of an inch, and then we have the depth of the foot, which is about the same, and then like this kind of scoop out of the middle here. And all those things sort of need to work together. If you don't leave enough clay there, then you're not going to get a very good foot. And I want you guys to work on getting a good foot. Okay, the inside of the bowl is going to be slightly curved. So what I want to do is open that up in a curve. Okay, face over the piece. I'm going to open it up, and this is probably something that a lot of you guys do anyway. Instead of pulling straight back, I'm going to pull it up, give it a little bit of a curve, and then when I compress it, I'm going to refine that curve a little bit. So if you look, there's a little bit of a dish to it. Okay, it goes down like that. So it's not straight back like you should be doing for your cylinders.
I do see you.
Yeah, a lot of you probably do that already. It's probably not that much different. Okay, now I'm gonna do the volcano. I'm gonna try not to ruin that inside curve too much. So I'm not gonna really I'm not gonna get it in quite as far as I would for a normal cylinder. Okay, I have a little bit of a groove on the inside. What I want to do is I want to maintain that dish, the kind of shallow bowl shape in the bottom, and I want that to continue into the wall of the cylinder. And in order to do that, I don't want to start right at that corner. I want to start right in the middle, and as I move across, right when I get to that corner, right when I get to that groove on the inside, I'm going to start pulling. That way it kind of scoops it up and it kind of continues through, rather than just pulling straight back and taking a little chunk out of that nice curve. Okay, so normal throwing position, hail a cab, that goes right there. Make sure your clay is wet. I'm gonna start in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna go across the middle, and then when I get to that outside, I'm gonna start my pull. Okay, first pull. Sure.
Okay. Looks like my hands.
All right, still need to make a groove on the outside, but when I make the groove, I don't want to put a weird step on the inside. So I'm going to kind of start in the middle and kind of follow that contour up as I press in on the outside. Okay, so I have my groove. Since I'm not really putting a whole lot of pressure, well, I'm putting enough pressure to lift the clay on the inside, but I'm not putting, I'm not trying to grab onto a groove on the inside. I'm not going to worry about starting from the middle and going across. If you get into larger holes, that's like the wall is just going to be a problem. It's going to get in the way from starting in the middle and going across. So actually, I guess I did that. I did start in the middle, and then when I get to the outside, I make my pull. All right, there you go. Do one more slow pull here, like a very light pull, just to even things out. And you can see I'm just using my fingertips. All right. Always remember to compress your lip. It's not a horrible idea to do that between each pull. Okay. So I'm just gonna hold onto the rim. Notice my arm is supported on my leg. Yellow Pages walkie fingers, and kind of press down and compress. Okay, I'm gonna leave this lip just a little bit thicker than I normally would for a regular cup. The reason is I'm gonna be stretching this out. If I stretch this out and the rim is already thin, it's gonna make the rim even thinner. So it just stretches it. So leave it a little bit thicker than you normally would. Just a little bit, not super thick, just a little bit thicker. Get rid of throw rings here. You don't have to. One of the reasons why I like to get rid of them is to compress that clay and get rid of the slip that's on the outside. Because if you leave that slip on the outside, it will be very hard to get off.
What happened?
Hmm?
What happened if you leave this lip?
If you leave the slip, it's going to be hard to pick up off the wheel. Slips off. Okay, remove the clay from the outside. You always want to do that before you shape it into a bowl. If you leave that there and then, if you leave that there, shape it, and you get to the end and oh, I forgot to take that clay off. It's going to be pretty hard because the shape of the bowl is just going to be in your way. So when it's still in a cylinder, get rid of that clay. All right, I'll do a sort of Korean style rice bowl kind of thing first, and then I'll do this chawan, and then I'll make some looser ones. Okay, I like to use this rib for these, but I'll use this rib because it's a little bit closer to what you guys have. This is my favorite shape here. You know, if you want, you can take your things home and sand them down so you can give it a little bit more curve. But you want a curve, you don't want a pointy end. That's sort of like the goal.
Is that the kidney one?
This is just the kidney rib, yeah. All right, so when you're shaping normal things like cups and taller forms and stuff like that, you're gonna have your left hand on the inside and your right hand with a rib on the outside, like that, right? This is not how we're gonna do the bowls. I do it opposite that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my kidney rib and hold it in my hand like that. So my fingertips are kind of like right behind that curve there. My left hand is gonna be supported on my leg, and then I'm gonna hold onto the rim. And it's just sort of there. You can even, if you feel like it's a little sticky, you can get that, put a little bit of water on there so it gets it wet. I'm gonna take my rib, my right hand, I'm gonna sort of support on my left hand, and I'm gonna push the rim out and then move the shape down. And it's a fluid motion. You don't wanna go too crazy too fast. Notice I only went down halfway. So I only went down to about there with my shaping. Now I'm gonna take the rib again and push out and push down. I'm holding onto the rib pretty tight so it doesn't move too much. Push the rim out and move the shape down. I'm watching the interior contour. When you make bowls, you throw the inside and you trim the outside. So always pay attention to what's happening on the inside. So I have it's almost a good curve in there. I haven't gone through the center. When you go through the center, you want to make sure you kind of reset. I'm going to actually compress this rim here. Just so I have a little bit more stability. When you go through the center part, you need to be putting a lot of pressure on there. You'll notice that right here, like this area right here, that's going to be pretty stubborn. It's going to resist what the pressure that you're putting on it. In order for you to get that nice curve, you need to sort of vary your pressure. So light pressure, and then right when you get to about this point, you're going to be starting to put a lot of pressure, and then you're going to go all the way through the center of the bowl, and then you'll be done. Okay. Once you do that, you're done. You don't want to fiddle with it. If you mess with it too much, it's going to collapse this area, like right around the bottom of the foot. So don't fiddle with it too much. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to get this top part to the right shape, a nice continuous curve, holding onto this tight. Okay, watching where that rib is touching, and I push hard and go right through the center. Okay, nice.
That's gonna be very hard, Professor.
It might. And if you get a little bit, I have a little bit of a dip right here, and I can sort of get rid of that with this other rib.
What do you have?
Huh? Oh, there's just like a little bit of a groove right here that I want to get rid of. I can see that. Yeah. So I'm fiddling with it, which I shouldn't be doing, but I'm trying not to do too much. All right, I'm just going to look at the contour on the outside. If I like it, then we'll call it a day. The reason I like this is because you can get a really nice curve on the inside, just with the difference in curves that you have. So this would be like one of those mini CDs, or even like that part of this rib, and then this is almost like
Look like a boomerang.
like this rib. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go outside and try to see if it's like a boomerang.
Why not?
Because I don't
That's
know.
not
It's
gonna
my
come back.
it's my good rib. Yeah. All right. Now what do we do?
And where do you buy that?
Ceramic Supply USA. Actually, I bought that one online, but Ceramic Supply has them. It was before Ceramic Supply was open. Okay, don't forget to score underneath. I'm going to take my wire, slice it. If you see, I saw a little bit of a shadow of my wire as I pulled through, which is fine. I'm sort of I know how much clay I can trim off of there. If you really see your wire coming through there, it might be a little bit too thin. We'll have to see when we start trimming it. Ideally, you wouldn't want to see too much of a shadow of it going across.
If that were the case, could we find a way around it, not having to trim it? Like, could we trim it another way?
These need to have trim feet. Yeah. If you want to just have it for yourself, that's fine. But as far as the assignment goes, it's probably not.
Oh.
Okay, so now I'm just going to form my fingers kind of like little pot lifters, like chopsticks, and just kind of lift it up and set it aside.
That is for me.
All right.
That is for her.
All right, so go ahead and you can stop that.